Good evening. Welcome to the show. I'm Dana Devine. I'm the Community Engagement and Communications Manager for the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force. Yes. Just in case you didn't know, we're a non-for-profit organization and we're working hard to end the disparity in breast cancer mortality between black or just between women of color in Chicago. Unfortunately, Chicago leads the nation in this disparity. Unfortunately, African American women in this city seem to be having more problems in women in other cities. So the Chicago Metropolitan Breast Cancer Task Force is here to address that issue by helping uninsured women, underinsured women receive a free mammogram. Can you say that? That's my favorite four-letter word, free. And all you need to do, if you are interested in getting this information, is calling the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force. We're located at 300 South Ashland, Suite 202 in Chicago, right at 60607, and the phone number is 312-942-3368. Got that? 312-942-3368. You can visit our website at www.chicagobreastcancer.org. All right. Got that? I'll be posting that information again, so don't worry. We are a live call-in show. That means you can call in 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060. Put that in your phone because you're going to need that number over and over, especially if you have anything important that you want to share with us. We started out the top in February. That's why I have unread. Month of love, and we're officially in the second month of the year, on our way to the third month of the year, and the question is new year, new you. That's what we were talking about last month. Have you scheduled your mammogram? Ladies, we talked about this. We're trying to schedule all of our important appointments in our birthday month. That's an easy way to make sure you get everything in the month that you celebrate your life. Let's take care of your life in that month. That means your gynecological visits, that's your breast exams, your annual physical, and any other annual exams that are in your protocol. Let's get those done in your birthday month. So I don't know if we passed it, but if you passed it and you still haven't gotten yourself together, it is not too late. I'm going to put this up one more time and get this information out for you. The 312-942-3368. All right. Well, we have a special guest in the studio today. We're moving from awareness to action. Ladies, don't deny, verify. That's it. That's all. We're not going to guess it. We're not trying to figure out, does that feel right? Don't deny, verify. If it doesn't look right, feel right, smell right, then check it out. Just don't deny, dare, verify. Questions again, 312-738-1060. Our phone lines are open right now. And we have a very special guest with us today. My mouth is tongue-tied. It's Lady Rochelle Dotson. Hey, Lady Rochelle Dotson. Woo, this is the clap track. Lady Rochelle Dotson is a 4-year breast cancer survivor, woo, and the founder and host of Warriors Talk, and she's a good friend of this show. Warriors Talk, that's a non-for-profit empowering individuals into action for a healthier lifestyle. Let me tell you a little bit about Lady Rochelle, though. A stage 2 breast cancer survivor. You've undergone chemotherapy, surgery, radiation. Your mission, you say your mission in life is to empower, encourage, and support all those touched by cancer. She is currently the Ford Warrior Pink Model of Courage, yay. And your mission is to provide cancer patients with more good days. Yes. Amen. You are currently also, she's a very busy lady, the Education Ambassador for Bright Pink and their mission is to save women's lives from breast and ovarian cancer. You're the community volunteer ambassador with the American Cancer Society. You have a BA in criminal justice. You have an MBA with a concentration in human resources. You are the president of the Ladies of New World Writers. And in your free time, do you have any? In your free time, you write poetry and you do open mic.
Yes.
Well, Lady Rochelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dana.
So, Lady Rochelle, now, I find that your testimony might very well be the most important thing you might say today. And I would just want to start out by asking you to talk to us and share with these women a little bit about your journey.
My journey actually started in November of 2013. I was in Vegas, getting ready to party with my friends. Ended up getting in the shower, did my monthly exam, and I found a lump. And so I thought to myself, okay, that's odd because it wasn't there last month. So I said, I'll worry about it when I get back. So as soon as I got back, I talked to my doctor. She scheduled me right away. And they confirmed that, they did the biopsy and confirmed that it was cancer. It was actually stage 2 triple negative breast cancer. So it was growing aggressively.
So when was okay, so how much time had passed between when you were diagnosed and your last mammogram?
That was actually my first mammogram because I had just had a baby and I was breastfeeding and I finished breastfeeding in May. And so May of that year I finished breastfeeding. In July I went and got my clinical exam, nothing. And then in November there was a lump.
Wow. Oh, it looks like we have a caller. Caller!
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Great show. I just wanted to make a comment about all the shows that come on about breast cancer. They never talk about men.
Ooh.
You have to call in and then remind them that men get cancer too, breast cancer.
Oh.
So
no. You don't have to remind us. I have two male friends in treatment right now. In fact, we're going to have a show completely dedicated to that. Yes, this show is for men and women and men. You're absolutely right. There are men being diagnosed with breast cancer. They have breast tissue just like women. It's not,
1 in 1,000.
Yeah, it's 1 in 1,000. That's the number. Go ahead, ladies, talk about that. Yes, so thank you for reminding us, and we are not leaving you out. We know that this epidemic is crossing the aisle, both sides of the pond. Yeah. Okay, so Lady Rochelle, thank you. Callers, keep calling in. Remember that number is 312-738-1060 with any calls or comments. So, you had your mammogram. You went to Vegas, having a good time, came home, found a lump. They did a biopsy, cancer. How long did it take between diagnosis and starting your treatment?
I was, they confirmed everything in December. So when I found the one lump, by the time I did 2 biopsies, I did an ultrasound, then there were 2 more lumps. And it was also in my lymph nodes. And I started my treatment in February. So my doctor, she wanted to start right away, but I ended up looking on the internet, looking up chemo and what it does to the body. And then I found that you should go to the dentist before you have chemo, because if you have any issues with your teeth, you're not going to be able to break treatment. And then if you end up getting sick, you're going to have to deal with that until you're done. So I ended up going to the dentist, and my dentist ended up pulling a couple of my teeth. And he says, you can't do treatment. You got to wait until your gums heal before you can actually do treatment. And my doctor was like, are you doing this on purpose? I'm like, no, that's what he said. So that's important for women to know. A lot of women don't know to check with your dentist before you actually start chemo, if that's your choice.
Did you write that down, ladies? And you can add dentist to your annual checkup too, every 3 months. Very interesting. And I remember having teeth issues. Whatever. My mouth had this. My tongue turned black. And I remember just like overnight, just literally overnight when I started chemo, I looked in the mirror one day. And I was like, just like, what? Oh my, just freaked out. My mouth was black and had black spots in it. But part of the course, and of course, as soon as treatment was done, all of those symptoms returned to normal. So that's important to tell people too, that it didn't last always. Trouble don't last always. And as soon as treatment was over, so was the issue with my mouth. So there's an end, ladies. There's an end. You know, we're telling you, because I don't want to scare women. You know, when they hear the details, it does sound a little like, ooh, black mouth. But my fingernails turned dark.
Yes.
And but after chemo, they look fine now. So ladies, don't deny, verify. So, Lady Rochelle, you are a mother of 5 children. And do you feel like your diagnosis affected your sexuality or your self-esteem? That's really what we're trying to address here today. You know, how the sexuality is affected after chemo.
I do believe it does affect your sexuality, and as well as intimacy after chemo, because you have a new norm. So whether you got breast removed or you had a lumpectomy, you had one breast removed, you're going to feel some type of way about your body when you're naked. And if you spouse or your partner into the treatment process with you, then they haven't seen any of that. So I think it's important to pull them in on it, and they can help you make decisions. So moving forward, they won't be surprised when they see certain things not there or they see certain scars. So you have to make sure that, you know, you include them, you communicate with them and have them to be a part of the process. And not only that, whether you have no breasts or you have implants, find different ways to be intimate. If the breasts are not there, let them focus on something else. You know, don't allow the scars or what you don't have to interrupt the intimacy between you and your partner. It can, if you allow it.
Well, and absolutely, or you know, that's just you know, I understand for men, you know, it's very difficult. For me, it was important to not come home with you know, an empty chest, basically. I didn't want to come home to my husband with no breasts. So that's why I elected to have the cosmetic, you know, everything on the same surgery, which I'm not necessarily fond of, but it was simply because I didn't want to come home and scare my husband and my kids to death, you know, for the first time they ever caught a glimpse of that. Right. So I elected for cosmetic surgery. So how did that come out for you?
I think it may be different if you have a spouse and if you don't have a spouse. Because if you don't have a spouse, you're like, okay, who's going to see them? You know, I'm going home by myself. So I think you may make your decision based on that. I think most women say, okay, men are visual. So they want to see that. And you want to walk away the way you came in. You want everything to be normal. You don't want to break in that. I think it's real difficult because you don't want to be looked at as being weak. You don't want to be looked at as being half of a woman because you don't have certain body parts anymore. But I look at it as my scars are there because I'm still here. So whoever is going to be with me, they have to be a special kind of man. God is actually have to place them in my life for them to even understand the process of breast cancer and the scars it leaves behind.
Yeah, I remember taking that bandage off the very first time, you know, after the surgery. And I guess, you know, in your head, you know, I knew I was going to reconstruct 2 breasts. So I was, you know, that song, throw some D's on there, throw some D's. I thought I was going to come home looking like Pamela Anderson. You know, I was like, you know, this is not that bad. I'm going to come home. And I took that bandage off. I was like, what? And it, you know, it didn't necessarily look like that. However, the important thing, you know, I think with my cosmetic was always you know, reminding me that it was, you know, if you take your shirt off, it's not necessarily perfect. But what they're trying to achieve is more of the visual, like here, right here. You know, this should look good. Whether or not y'all see without it, right now, it's presentable. So that's what he was focusing on, to make sure that, you know, if I would ever to have a shirt looking like this, at least this line would look normal. And that's what he focused on. He didn't worry about making sure the whole breast was, looking like, a Victoria's Secret model, but he did get me through the cleavage part.
Right.
And I really appreciate that, doctor.
Yeah.
I just want to remind you, listen, your mother, your sister, your father, your brother, now we can just include everybody, like that caller said. Anybody you love that has not completed mammogram screening this year, I want you to write this number down. 312-942-3368. It's the Chicago Metropolitan Breast Cancer Task Force, and our charge is to get all women a mammogram. It's just that simple. You see the email address is posted, info@chicagobreastcancer.org, and the website, www.chicagobreastcancer.org. We're on Facebook.com, especially if you're listening live, watching us live. Twitter at MCBCTF, Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force, and Instagram at MCBCTF. All right. Woo! So, very good. Now, research shows that younger women with breast cancer have more severe emotional distress than older women. And of course, that makes a lot of sense. They are looking at, I guess a younger woman who might not be married, you are very concerned about having breasts. And the loss of a breast or poor breast appearance is more distressing to younger or premenopausal women. That makes sense. But I want to ask you, are you in a dating relationship?
I am.
You are?
I am.
And was this person in your life before, prior to your diagnosis?
No.
So that's very interesting. So this person had to start, you had to introduce, understand, educate.
Yes.
So I didn't know what to say about that experience. I'll probably just leave that alone. But let me ask you this. I have a question. Do you believe that seeking a new dating relationship after breast cancer treatment can be especially stressful for the single woman or versus the married woman? Or no, you wouldn't be in a dating relationship married. I'm sorry, you would not be in a dating relationship married. Only the single women would be stressed. This would not apply to the married women, but new dating relationship, or just an older woman who is still wants to date. I mean, just because you're 60 and maybe you are lost a spouse or divorced and have had breast cancer does not mean that you want to end your sexual life forever at 60 or 70 or 80, ladies, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, talk to me about that relationship part and how you were feeling as a single woman just getting back out there.
I find it very stressful because, like I said, men are visual. So they look on the outside first before they get to know you. So they're attracted to the outside, and that is what causes them to want to get to know you better. So my thing is, I tell them that I've been through breast cancer, but I don't put all of my information up front because I need to know what your intentions are, and everybody is not privy to that information.
All right. Now, do you tell how far do you have to be in the relationship? I mean, so you meet somebody initially, is that how soon before that comes out your mouth?
It depends on how the conversation is going, how many dates we have had, and if he's talking long term. Is he talking about let's take this to the next level to where it's just you and I? Then okay, I need to let you know some things about my cancer journey to see if this is what he wants to take on. Because I always say, to me, it's a lifetime diagnosis because cancer leaves behind residue. And although you're not in treatment, you still have residue and things that you're dealing with outside of that diagnosis. And so you have to have somebody that's going to be understanding to that, and that's not going to be superficial, looking for the superficial stuff, but actually find that you're sexy, not just on the outside, but on the inside as well. So it can be it's very stressful if you're not with the right person.
So let me understand, you have done reconstruction?
No.
You have not done any
No.
reconstruction? Very interesting. You know, and I only say that because really most women your age elect for some type of reconstruction. Most women that I meet who are maybe over 60, they tend to not, you know, there's a choice to be made. And so you have, however, if I were to go back and do this again, I think that I would have chosen to not do both surgeries at the same time. I would have had the breast surgery and have them remove, you know, the mastectomy and recuperate it and let my body heal and then make the decision. But again, you know, I was, you know, rushing. I had very young children and my husband, I just didn't want to do that.
Well, at the time, I had to do radiation. I had to do 33 rounds of radiation. So reconstructive surgery was not going to happen until the radiation was done. And then you have to wait for the skin to heal after radiation, which is several months after that as well. So it gives you a little time to think about, do you really want to do reconstructive surgery? You know, it's an individual choice.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm seeing more women opt for not necessarily, or at least taking their time and putting some time in between the first surgery and the second surgery, and maybe just not doing it at all. I saw a beautiful picture yesterday of women with no breasts taken, you know, it's on my Facebook page, Dana Divine, if you guys want to check that out. Very interesting photo, and, you know, women just straightforward. This is how it looks. And it was a beautiful picture to me.
I think it's a decision that you should be making with your spouse, too. I mean, I know it's the woman's body, but if you have a husband, I think that you both should make that decision. So if you decide that you don't want to do it, he should be a part of that process. You know, you should hear him out to decide if that's what you want to do or not. And not just, you know, I don't want to say be selfish because it is our body, but to include him in on it.
Good answer. And if you could leave a message to women, and like I said, I really feel like we could get on this show and talk about a lot of numbers, and I could say, and statistics say, and if you know about that, but I really believe that women want to just hear the story. They want to find something that they can relate to in that story, and that's what we're here to do, just to encourage women that, did you hear anything that sounded familiar, and don't deny, verify. So if you could just,
Talk about the excuses.
yes, if you could just, good point. My producer just said we should quickly dispel these excuses, and I do feel like they are quite excuses, and we're just going to go through these really quick because I just want to hear your opinion on this. Sickness or other illnesses. That is a reason to not go to get a mammogram. What you think?
Oh, there's no reason not to go get a mammogram. If you're feeling any type of sickness and it's lasting more than 3 weeks, you should be going to the doctor, especially if it's a lump.
Did you hear that? Say that louder.
Especially if it's a lump.
If you've been feeling any symptom for 3 weeks, it's time to go. We'll go see the doctor. It hurts too much.
If you have had a baby the pain, it lasts for a couple of seconds, but I would rather go through that couple of seconds than to have to go through chemo, radiation, or surgery. It only take a couple of seconds, lady. Don't play yourselves.
I've got too much going on. I've got choir rehearsal later. The kids have to get to the soccer.
A year from now, you may not have that option to have to do any of those things. So it's best to go in, like she said, don't deny, verify.
A year from now, you may not have that option. I like it. Okay, listen. Again, I just want to remind you that if you don't have insurance, if you are underinsured, overinsured, underinsured, no insurance, if you just need some help navigating your way through a mammogram, give us a call, 312-942-3368. We're the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force, and we are here to help you. We just are really trying to reach women one at a time. If you or anybody you love needs a mammogram, call today. 312-942-3368. We're waiting on you. I just want to thank Lady Rochelle Matheny Dotson.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your testimony. Like I said, I believe that your testimony might be the most important thing you ever say.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I just, I think we have a couple more seconds here. Well, let's just go through this little sad list again. Oh yeah, okay, well I guess we don't have any more time, but I just want to thank then, while I can, my producer, Donna Lynn Schaefer. Ooh, she gets the job done. Yes, she does. Music producer, Maurice Joshua. Our social media producer, Ariel Thomas. And, of course, Can TV for letting us come in and share this great information with you. We will be back here next month, Tuesday evening, 5 p.m. with another wonderful breast cancer survivor with a story that you don't want to miss. And until then, we'll see you then.